Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bus Drivers Route podcast for episode 3 of the Challenge Free Agents with your host, me, Brian Cohen. So with a few episodes into the season now, we're kind of shaping up to see who are the contenders and the pretenders for potentially taking home this title. And after this week's grueling elimination round, I had a chance to speak to the winner of that elimination, Cara Maria. I had a chance to break down her hard-fought battle against Nia, her mindset going into the season being out on her own, and a few of the other big moments from the season. So I'll get to all that in just a minute. Let me just first remind you to follow me on Twitter at BusDriversRoute. Go to BusDriversRoute.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, let's get to it. So here is Cara Maria. So I just want to first say congratulations on your big elimination win over Nia this week. It was very well deserved. So I just wanted to go back to the beginning of the season when you find out it's an individual game, it's free agents. What are your thoughts about, kind of being on your own, no partners? You know, you haven't had this situation before. You weren't involved in any of the duels. So what were your initial thoughts about kind of being out on your own?
My initial thoughts are this is going to be awesome because usually it's kind of the group mentality that kind of knocks me down because I'm not one for politics. So I'm thinking if this is individual and everything is on you, then every man for himself. There's no politics. There's not much you can do. So it was a good situation for me, I'm thinking.
Right. So now, are you worried about the fact that, you're obviously very good friends with Laurel, and she's a very good competitor. She's, finished second 3 times. She's really looking to get her first title. So are you worried that this is kind of shaping up to be maybe her season and that maybe you're all kind of playing for second? Or did you think that in a situation that you can take Laurel down?
I think that having Laurel on a season with me is the motivation that I need because she is a good competitor. So as far as I'm concerned, I want to do as good, if not better than her in every challenge that we do or in any given situation. And she's not an enemy, so there's no hostile challenging of each other. There's just encouragement, I was just kind of hoping that we could basically encourage each other in a positive way, but in a healthy, competitive way. And I'm thinking if we do make it to a final together, I'm going to do everything I can to beat her because this is my final to win, I think. I think I've trained harder for this challenge than I have for any other, so I'm not going to roll over and give it to her.
Right, absolutely. So it's actually funny because you were actually the first person eliminated on your very first season back in Fresh Meat 2, and now here you are probably outside of Laurel and Emily, I would say one of the top female competitors. So what do you think has led to your growth of being, one of the more feared female competitors in the challenge right now?
Thank you. It took me a while because when I first was on the Fresh Meat, my first thought is, oh, yay, fun TV show, let's see what happens. And there wasn't much to it. And then as I progressed, I realized, I want to win. I'm not just in this to dick around. I want to show people that I can fight and that I'm strong. I don't have the strongest personality or the most confidence, but I think physically, if my confidence and my personality matched how I know I am physically, then I would be unstoppable. But unfortunately, I always have a little bit of problems with confidence. I've always been a little weird, a little awkward. But I've realized, I don't know why it took me, 7 seasons, but I really wanted to take this seriously. Even last season when I didn't do well swimming, I'd still taken swimming lessons. I'm just not really the best swimmer, and so I continued to take swimming lessons. I work on my weaknesses. I know what they are, and I'm just doing the best I can do to be the best that I can possibly be because I know that, no matter what season I go into, it's not going to come easy. I definitely put in my time in elimination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stronger.
So jumping straight ahead to this week, this was your 3rd draw, which obviously was not a fun place to be. So when you're in that moment, how do you mentally prepare yourself to be ready to compete where it could just be turned off? All you have to do is turn over a blank card. You're free and clear. So how do you stay in that mental state all day knowing you're in a draw?
That's almost the hardest thing because number one, first of all, I'm not mentally checked in yet because I have not had the opportunity to unpack my bag once. Meanwhile, I'm in a room with Preston, Nani, Camilla, and Laurel, who have not had to see one draw yet. So every girl in my room has not had to see a draw. So I'm the only one that has my bag constantly packed. Oh, wait, Camilla was in the draw. I forgot, but once. But,
once.
So mentally, you're just like, I can't even sit down and have fun and drink and get crazy because I don't know if I'm going to pull the card tomorrow. And so you're psyching yourself out thinking, you know, you're straddling the line between, do I put all the energy I have into, you know, visualizing me in that arena, I'm going to be in there, I'm going to fight, or am I visualizing I'm going to pull the blank card and I'm not going to go in? Like, what card do I pick? It's just a mental mind fuck. You just don't know what to do.
Right. And then this elimination was probably, I mean, we'll have to see what else comes. It seems like it's going to be the toughest one of all the future eliminations. So when you and I start getting into it, you obviously seems to be in a complete deadlock for an hour and a half. So was there any moment other than when you finally mustered up the energy to win that, did it ever move either way? Was there ever a situation where Nia was close or you were close earlier, or was it just deadlock for 90 minutes?
Before we even started and I stood there next to her, my thought is, oh, my God, you know, I've literally got to dig with every inch of my being to beat this girl because already, just in terms of running, I thought, well, you know, I'm going to have to run quicker. I'm going to have to get lower. I'm going to have to be faster because she already has a longer reach. So she's already closer to the bell than I am, and we haven't even started, you know? So when I do get down low, you know, the unfortunate thing is that I feel like in this elimination we were sort of crash dummies because, you know, in future, when they use this again, I hear, you know, they change things up a lot with this particular elimination.
Interesting.
So we're kind of the crash dummies. Like, the harness was so tight. Literally, I'm struggling and I'm making all these noises because I can't breathe. You know when you breathe and your chest expands, your shoulders come up? You can't breathe.
Right.
The straps are so tiny and so tight that it's literally creating welts and, like, ripping literally, I feel like my shoulders are about to rip off my body. So everything, you know, Nia was complaining about afterwards, like she had, you know, was hurting for weeks after, you know, so was I, but I had to continue to compete. And I'm also walking back into a house full of people that I don't want to let them know I'm injured. You let people know you're injured, you know, they're going to prey on that. They're going to jump on that. So you have to hide it.
Absolutely.
So, you know.
How long did it take you to get kind of...
I was in the same boat. What?
Yes, how long did it take you to kind of regain your strength? Because we saw Nia, like, she wasn't able to move her arms for, like, 48 hours after. So, like, how quick was the recovery for you?
I couldn't either. I'm not even kidding you. I tried to do handstands the next day, and I collapsed. I could not do anything with my arms or shoulders. Like, everything, exactly. It's not her harness was too tight. It was just the absolute sheer agony of the harness on your shoulders. So I couldn't even use my leg muscles. Like, I wanted to be able to dig and use my legs, but you can't because the agony and the pressure is so hard in your shoulders that you can't even use your legs. You're just in pain. So it really just came down to heart. And plus the thing is that my castmates that were watching it were also telling me that no matter how hard I pulled and struggled, it didn't move her at all. You didn't even see her rolled at all because the poles were positioned so far apart width-wise that the torque, I guess, of it was just, you need to, future, when they do this elimination again, they put the poles closer together. I'm told.
Okay.
You know, so that when one person pulls on one side, you can actually see the other person being affected. Whereas in this one, you can't. It was just it was hard.
Yeah. Listen, for me, the big, as you mentioned it before, but it was the fact that everyone in the house, seemingly other than, you know, your good buddy Johnny Bananas, was rooting for you, which is like the biggest change over the past few seasons where, you know, you're seemingly always on the bottom of the totem pole, always being thrown in. So what do you think has led to kind of your transformation from being the person that has been picked on to now kind of like the fan favorite amongst people in the house?
I think it just, when I came, well, first of all, I actually showed up when everybody else did, which is always a bonus because you never want to show up late.
No.
And I think I just was able to let loose and have fun. I had Laurel there. You know, I was able to actually be the Cara who I wanted to be, and I was able to be myself. I didn't feel alienated from any groups. I didn't feel any dislike from anybody. It was a really actually friendly environment. Basically, I think because Johnny and all of his friends were not there. Like, Johnny was there, but he was by himself, you know? Mm-hmm. So I had CT, I had Laurel, I made friends with Johnny, Riley, and Zach, and Jordan. They took me in their little CrossFit club. I was able to work out with people. Like, it was just a really overall welcoming, fun house. So I was really happy.
One of the best parts for me when I watch is when TJ when you can tell when TJ is really like happy with someone's performance. You know, either you killed it or whatever. So, but what he said to you afterwards, saying that if he had to pick anyone in the house to go up against this, you would be the last person he would pick. What does that feel like when you get that sense of approval and accomplishment from TJ?
That, because, you know, TJ never really gives us a lot of feedback. He's supposed to hide, you know, hold some things back sometimes. And just for him to say that meant more to me than anything that anybody's ever said to me on any challenge, because that validated how hard I worked, and he saw it, you know, so that just meant so much coming from TJ. He does not like quitters. So the big thing is whatever I do, I will never quit. You just have to have heart 100%, and that's what he likes to see. So it was good that he saw that.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so a couple more things I just wanted to discuss. One of the things was from 2 weeks ago. This is the thing that just bugged me. When you all went out for Kahuta's birthday, CT got stuck with the bar bill for like $750. So I'm just baffled by the fact that when you guys go out in like a foreign country, that MTV or the bar or anyone like actually makes you bring money and pay for all that stuff. So that you really have to like pay for everything and like split a bill and do all that stuff?
Well, they pay for everything, you know, that we want in the house. You know, they bring us wine, they give us vodka, they give us beer, they give us food. And then when we go out, we're on our own, because you got to figure, like, CC's ordering bottles, God knows how much Camilla drinks, you know, like, people are drinking. If MTV's putting the bill, then, you know, they're going to be paying out the ears, you know, in one night. It's going to be insane. Like, so when we go out,
one more question. Sorry to jump in.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so I'll just end with this then. So obviously, like we said, you've been in a lot of different challenges over the years, and obviously this elimination was fantastic for you. So aside from that one, which one for you, either a challenge or elimination, would stand out to you the most?
That I have done? Honestly, everything, I hate saying it, like, the best is yet to come. Like, what you're going to see on this season in terms of what I can do and what I push myself for and what I get through is probably, I'm more proud of this season than any other. So it's really the best yet to come, I think.
All right. That's a good tease. So I appreciate getting a chance to talk with you. Where can people find you on Twitter and all that so they can keep up?
Twitter.com/Cara Maria MTV.
Fantastic. All right, Cara, I wish you the best of luck this season. Hope to see you in another final.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
All right, bye. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. There it is. The Bus Drivers Are Out podcast for episode 3 of the Challenge Free Agents is in the books. Hope you enjoyed hearing from Cara Maria. I thought she gave some pretty good insights into that epic elimination round with Nia. So before I wrap things up, let me just remind you to follow me on Twitter at BusDriversAreOut. Go to busdriversareout.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, that'll do it for me. So until next time, have a good one.